Thanks, Mia. Can everyone see my screen? Cool. Okay, let's get started. All right, everyone. We are happy to meet you, all of you today, to go through the MPIF details and to chat with two of our MPIF alumni learning about their experience in MPIF. As you can tell from these beautiful screens, that on the left side, it's the Keller Center in Chicago, which is the academic home of the Harris School of Public Policy. And on the right, it's the beautiful sunset picture from Peking University in Beijing, China. And before we dive into the program details, I just want to give you a quick overview of who I am and who are the guest speakers of today. My name is Lingyang. I graduated from Harris last summer, and now I'm a full-time staff member at Harris. Before joining Harris, I had over 10 years of work experience in China, mostly in the nonprofit sector. And Sihan and Xinyin, how about you also share with us a little bit more about like who you are, what you are doing, and what your backgrounds are. Sihan, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to join the session today, and I'm a MPP graduate in 2019. And before that, I had a Bachelor of Economics from Peking University. And after my master, I went to work for City of Pittsburgh and also World Bank Beijing office as consultant and data analyst. And right now, I'm currently a PhD student in urban planning at the University of Southern California. I'm happy to share my experience in this program and to know everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Sihan. Hi, Xinyin. Would you like
Hi,
to?
everyone. Yeah, hi, everyone. My name is Xinyin Song, and currently I was a year 4 student in the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen campus. I attended our program, MPIF program last year, and currently I got the offer from our Chicago University in MPP program. I'm so pleased to have this golden opportunity to see all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Xinyin. Congratulations on your offer and accepting our offer. Okay, so most of you might be like curious about or interested in the MPIF program, which is one of our credential programs. And what is a credential program and what are the key benefits of credential programs? Credential programs are short-term, non-degree programs which can give you the opportunity to explore one specific field and see if it's an area you would like to pursue. Credential programs can strengthen your resume for career advancement or graduate school application by equipping you a new skill set and to connect you with a global cohort of peers at the PKU and U-Chicago community. We have run the MPIF program for 2 years and credential programs for 6 years. So we already have more than 1,100 alumni across the globe with a high satisfaction rate. Also, some students did join Harris as degree students after this credential program experience, like Xinyin does. And so for this year, MPIF is one of the 3 programs under the PKU Chicago 2023 Summer School. And the other 2 programs are International Policy Action Lab, IPAL, and Environmental Economics and Policy Lab, EEPL. All the 3 programs will be delivered in person at the PKU campus in Beijing, China. In addition to the rigorous interactive academic training from PKU and U-Chicago faculty, each program offers policy capstone projects, field trips to leading industry organizations, and a certification of completion if you successfully finish the program. This is an overview of the 3 programs. You can see from the table that MPIF starts at July 17 and will last for 3 weeks with approximately 20 hours of engagement per week. I would say the engagement time is really depending on your own levels of academic backgrounds, since in addition to the lectures with faculty members. You can also customize your learning journey by leveraging the TA office hours and group projects supervised by faculty. And the program fee for MPIF is $3,000 this year. So what this MPIF program looks like, this program is co-led by two faculty members, Dr. Tang Yao from Peking University Guanghua School of Management and Thomas Coleman from UChicago Harris. Dr. Tang Yao was an associate professor from Bowdoin College in United States before he joined Guanghua, and his research interests include like monetary economics, international economics, and carbon neutrality. And Tom is a very popular instructor at Harris. He previously served as the executive director and senior advisor at the Baker Friedman Institute for Research in Economics. And he worked in the finance industry for over 20 years with considerable experience in trading, risk management, and quantitative modeling. And the two very promising and I would say approachable faculty members dedicated their time to develop this program together. So we have a very robust and I would say also intensive curriculum. So in terms of the courses, from the overview, you can tell that we covered a lot of interesting topics related to monetary policy and international finance, like examining the monetary systems of different nations and the roles of central and commercial banks, and discuss the policy choices of governments and central banks and their effects on domestic interest rates and foreign exchange rates, etc. And then you will work on a capstone research project in groups of 3 or 4, which is the application of what you will have learned from the MPIF courses. And at the end, a limited number of groups will have the opportunity to present their research results at a half-day mini conference with faculty, peers, and invited guests. So you can see from the sample schedule that for the first 2 weeks, we will focus on the in-person lectures, and the last week of the program is designed for field visits to leading organizations to expand your career knowledge and industry network. And the last 3 days are the remote group work. And in maybe April, I would say we can also have a mini class experience with Tom, which he will talk about the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank that many of you might be very interested or curious about, like what happened and why. Here, I want to give you a sense of like the activities from the years before. Like this is one of the capstone project presentation in 2022. And last year, our students and faculty visited the AIIB Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And this year, our PKU team members are working hard on planning the field trips, and you can expect visiting the AIIB as well, and one another leading industry organization. And in addition to that, last year, we also hosted several industry experts panels that we invited different industry experts to talk about some interesting topics like China's interbank required reserve ratio, China's monetary policy transformation, and like what's next for China after the eradication of absolute poverty, and China's digital innovation and its implications on Asia. And this year, we are also planning those kinds of in-person activities like roundtable forums with industry experts and leading scholars, and guest speaker lectures and culture trips in Beijing, China. So let's hear from our alumni to see their MPIF experiences, and you can also send your questions for them to the Zoom chat. My first question for our 2 alumni is, based on your background you introduced just now, what interests you to join the MPIF program at the first? And Sihan, would you like to go first on this question?
Yeah, sure. So at the time of the program last year, I was working at the World Bank Beijing office. So in my previous job, I had a lot of like time knowing about something related to money and banking and international finance because of the agency's work. So I want to make myself more knowledgeable, like to understand what's going on in our like regular meetings. And because I worked in the field of transit-oriented development, so a lot of time it came down to the fiscal policy and also the financial capacity of a local government, and sometimes related to central government's decision to whether support a program or not. So I think this is very relevant, and I didn't spend much time in my undergrad to study money and banking. So I think it's a great opportunity for me to fill the gap. So that's why I joined. And because another benefit of the program is to go back to the Peking University campus, because it's hard for alumni to get back at the in the pandemic. So, and that's why I joined. Yeah.
Yeah, and for this year, we will host the 3 programs all in person in Peking University. And actually, it's like a unique experience that Sihan, you finish your MPP programs and you are like work full-timely, and also you took this MPIF program during your work. Yeah. And Xinyi, would you like to introduce yourself about this question, like what interests you first?
Certainly. Well, last year I was a year 3 student in my university majoring in finance. At that time, there are 3 reasons for me to participate in our program. Firstly, I think I still want to explore or have the real experience in learning or studying in Chicago University as well as Peking University. Secondly, because I know that the students who participate in our program are very or exceedingly excellent. For example, there are students from mainland China who are also students in the Peking University, Tsinghua University, as well as Fudan University, so on and so forth. So I can learn 1 or 2 things from them. So which means I have more opportunities to make more friends. And in the future, maybe when I come to Beijing, I can I'll visit the campus or have more communication with my friends there. Thirdly, participating in this program makes me explore more in the public policy area, because my major in the undergraduate school is finance. So I want to explore whether I can just combine them together and explore a new way in my master application. I think our MPIF program indeed helps a lot in my master application in our MPP program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Xinyi and Sihan. And so my next question is like, what are some of the highlighted experiences during the MPIF program? Because you both mentioned that you have your first intentions to attend them and you have your expectations. Like, how about that went? And for this question, Xinyi, would you like to go first?
Okay, so about the highlighted experiences I want to share too. First one is having the communication with our professor, because it is really a golden opportunity to know what is the shortcomings or disadvantages of ourselves, especially in paper writing. At that time, I remember that our group's topic is a little bit general. So when I talk about this with our professor, he told me that you should just narrow down your topic to a specific country, which helps you to have a better understanding of their facial or monetary policy. So I think this kind of creative idea works a lot in my future study, no matter in the economics or finance courses. Also, the other highlighted experience is that during our cooperation or teamwork project, which is a capstone, I organized a lot of meetings with our team members, one of them from Tsinghua University and one of them from Peking University. So the creative ideas made by us can give me a lot of intuition, which helps me to know how to organize a meeting or how to cooperate with each others and to the best of our abilities. So this is two meaningful or valuable experiences that I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Xin. I'm very curious, like, what's your capstone project topic?
The topic is COVID-19, the effect of COVID-19 on the fiscal and monetary policy in China.
Cool. Okay, so Sihan, what's your highlight experiences during the program?
Yeah, I saw in the chat box, someone asked, like, Shirley asked whether there will be any international student. I think my answer will be yes, and that is one of the highlight in the program, that we can talk to students from or people from different countries. Like last year, I remember talking with a student from Istanbul. She was working in a commercial banks there in Turkey. So it's very interesting to see like people's opinion about money and banking, about the same topic from totally different areas of the world. I think that would be a great plus. A second, the highlight I mentioned before is just to having classes in Peking University's campus is pretty good. I mean, the location is one of the best classroom I think I like in my undergrad. It's kind of old Asian building with lots of flowers and pretty good environment. And third, I would say the interaction with Professor Coleman and Professor Tao was so great, and I enjoy a lot of conversation that they discuss the what is relevant happening around the world about monetary policies, like and for this year it will be very relevant as well, because we were like experiencing some sort of financial crisis in Europe and in the United States and also in China. So it will be a very interesting conversation this year, I guess.
Thanks, Sihan. And also thank for Shirley's question. You can also continue sending your questions to the Zoom chat, and we'll come to the questions during our chat. And my next question is, Sihan mentioned that like you were also like working during the program, and also Xin was a third year like student. So it should be like the summer time or even before the summer vacation. So like during the program period, how did you balance the other work or life priorities with this like quite intensive study at MPIF? And how did you like leverage the program resources to support your goals? Maybe Sihan, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I will go first. I had to admit this is like something I didn't do well last year, because I was working a job, and in the pandemic, the class was sort of like online and offline together. So it was kind of hard to allocate enough time to study all the materials, because there was a lot of like content in each lecture. So if you really want to be prepared and to understand all of that, it took time. And I want to say, if I were to do it again this year, I want to like put more time on the study, and it was because I really like all the contents in the lectures, and it was something I need to focus more. And I would suggest students this year to kind of like, because I saw this kind of more compact session this year that we have like 2 weeks of study. So it will be great for people to kind of prioritize time on this program. Yeah.
Like you have to sit in the classroom.
Yeah, because you have to be in the classroom, and it's also another advantage of being offline, because online is kind of hard to have the interaction with the professors. Mhm.
Exactly. Thanks, Sihan.
Yeah, sure.
Xinyi.
Okay, let me share my experience. Well, at that time, I was year 3 student who have to finish lots of lessons, assignments, quizzes, as well as my midterm examination. So at first, I just finished all of them during the weekdays, and participate or attend our lessons during the weekends, because my major is finance, so some knowledge models or theories that I learned in economic classes or financial classes can indeed help me a lot in learning our theoretical knowledge. So I think it's not a struggle for me at that time to deal with all of things. Also, I think at that time I only have four lessons or 4 courses during that time, so I can spare lots of time in finishing our capstone or attending our classes. So my advice is to make you balance between the courses as well as your current life. I think it's very important.
Cool. Okay, so my last question for you is like, what are your advices and tips for our future MPIF participants? Who would like to go first?
I can go first. So I think my advice is to find out how you like, especially for people who are working right now, just to figure out how you kind of get enough time for this program in the 3 or 4 weeks, because you're gonna take a lot of time from your working schedule. So you need to arrange that carefully beforehand. Because last year, because we had a chance to visit AIIB's headquarters last year, but it was a pity for me that I had a meeting that day, so I cannot really join the team to the headquarters. So like, to avoid things like that, just be prepared before the program, and it will give you a better experience, I guess.
Thanks, Sihan. And Xinyi.
Okay, let me continue. Well, I have 2 advices for the participants. The first one is try to be active, because there are a lot of students in our classes, but we need to be more active to have a communication with our professor, such as answer his question, or you can directly give your question to the professor to be answered, because it is really a good opportunity for you to have a real communication with the professor and learn a lot. Secondly, when you do your capstone, you need to learn how to cooperate with each other. Try not to be the free rider, because although others can do 1 or 2 things for you, but you lose the opportunity to know how to search the data or do the literature review or do the paper writing. So that's such a pity. So my advice is to try to be the leader, or at least you need to participate in the your group actively. I think this is the most valuable thing that you can learn from the MPIF program. Thank you.
Those are great tips. Thank you, Xinyi and Sihan. And also related to the cohort size, because another student reached out to me this morning to ask like how big our class is. So for MPIF, I would say it's like between 50 to 70 students of the cohort. Yeah. So great. Thank you so much, Sihan and Xinyi. And if we would see like more questions coming from the WeChat Zoom, the Zoom chat, and we can come back to those questions later. And now let's talk briefly about the admissions, how admissions work for us. So for all types of credential programs, the main motivation for us is to give candidates who are like interested in one of those areas an opportunity to taste how a PKU or UChicago learning experience looks like. So it's a very easy process and may take you only like less than 1 hour to submit this application. And the application materials include your motivation statement, your academic transcript, and your resume. Unofficial transcripts are totally acceptable. And if you are from non-English speaking country, an English language proficiency requirement would be needed. And also I list here like what are the acceptable types of language tests you can check or any details on our website. And some students in the past asked me like which material you would prioritize. So from our understanding, and you can also see from Sihan and Xinyi, that we believe that students who have the best clear intention, why they would choose to do this program or how they can think about this program to be beneficial for their future academic or professional development, can take away the most from the program. So basically, the motivation statement is something that we're really looking forward to. So we have 3 rounds of deadlines. The early action round, which is coming up in less than 1 month, 20 days, April 18. And we encourage you to take advantage of the April 18 deadline because we will have a $300 program fee discount if you apply by the early action round. And then you will hear from us by the end of April, and then you will confirm your enrollment by early May. And this is also the round that is especially if you need to enter China with a visa as an international student, that you will have time to apply for the visa. And if you need accommodation support, you can get into the Global Village dorm at PKU, and those are the pictures of the dorm itself and the inside. So basically, you will have your individual room with shared living room and bathroom with 1 or 2 other students. And the room rate is per night in RMB 120 to 160, which is less than $30 per night. And we have all the application details online. So if you haven't dived into the MPIF website, please do so. And if you do use WeChat, make sure that you join our prospective students WeChat group. We will have more Q&A there. And that's pretty much what we have for today. And you can always reach out to us and get a more customized or personalized answer or consultation with us. Any questions for now? Okay, so we spent like 30 minutes on those information and the alumni communication. And we have like 15 more minutes to answer your questions in this session. And you can turn on your camera or ask the questions directly or send your questions to the Zoom chat. Let me stop sharing first.